It started like any forgettable night. I was in my room, doing nothing special, just scrolling aimlessly when a notification lit up my phone. New follower on Instagram. I tapped it without much thought. The username was strange, Tai130531. Of those dead bot-looking accounts, I figured. No profile picture. 5 photos, all of quiet cookie-cutter suburban homes, eerily similar in size and layout. No captions, no likes, comments disabled. The account had 2 followers, followed only 3 people, and somehow, I was now one of them. It should have been nothing, just digital noise. I left it alone. My profile was public anyway, nothing to hide. 2 nights later, I was lying in bed when I saw another notification from that same account. It had liked my latest photo. I paused, suddenly curious, and tapped on the profile again. That's when my stomach dropped. A 6th photo had been added. It was my house. Not a house. Mine. Taken from the street sometime during the day, I stared at the image for a long moment before snapping out of it. I sent the account a message, trying to sound casual. Very funny. Who is this? I expected a laughing emoji, some dumb reply from a friend pulling a prank. But the message was seen and never answered. I typed again. This is harassment. I'm reporting this. The cops will track you. Then I bolted to my parents' bedroom. It was past midnight, but I shook them awake, shoving the phone in their faces. Someone posted a photo of our house. They know where we live. They blinked away their sleep, concerned but trying to keep calm. My dad muttered something about a dumb high school prank, that maybe someone from school found our address and thought it'd be funny. Still, he and I threw on our jackets and stepped outside. The air was still. The neighborhood was silent in that wrong kind of way, like the quiet itself was hiding something. Streetlights buzzed faintly. Shadows clung to the corners of lawns and driveways like they didn't want to leave, but there was no one in sight. We did a slow walk around the yard and checked near the windows. Nothing. Eventually, we went back inside. My dad seemed satisfied it was just a prank. I wasn't. I stayed up, my phone in hand, staring at the profile, refreshing it every few minutes. Hours passed. The house was quiet again. Then ping a new DM. It was another image, another shot of my house, this time from the side, taken from somewhere along the fence. Before I could react, another image came through. It was a photo of my window. My window. And in the glass you could see the reflection of the TV in my room. My TV. My room. Right now. My fingers froze. My breathing locked. And then came the next message. Look out your window. I didn't move. I reached for the TV remote and killed the power. The screen blinked to black, and the room fell into darkness. I lay flat on the bed for a moment, then slowly slid to the floor, crawling toward the door. My body low, heart pounding so hard I thought it would give me away. Then came the banging. Not knocking, pounding. Explosive, angry hits against the window pane, like someone wanted in. I couldn't help it. I turned. A figure stood just outside the glass. The face was a smear of shadows and glare, features hidden, but the outline. It was a person, watching me, pressed up against the glass. Screamed and sprinted from the room, crashing through the hallway and into my parents' room again. He's outside. He's at the window. I could barely form the words. My dad was already jumping out of bed. We ran back to my room together. The banging had stopped, but the feeling hadn't. That wrongness still filled the room like leftover. Static. My dad stood by the window scanning the yard. No one, but it was enough. He'd heard it this time. He believed me. We called 911, officers showed up quickly. I showed them the account, the photos, the messages. They were calm but serious, telling us the account could be traced, and since there was a direct threat, they'd escalate it to get information. from Instagram immediately. That same night, we drove behind the police car to the precinct. The building was bright, sterile, cold. I gave my statement. They took screenshots. They wrote everything down. I didn't sleep at all. By the next afternoon, they had a name. Luke. I won't share the last name, but he went to my high school. I never talked to him, never looked at him twice. He was one of those kids who floated on the edges, quiet, angry, distant. There were always rumors about him. People said he creeped them out. He'd stare too long, snap without warning. He wasn't the kind of person you joked with or about. Turns out, it wasn't a prank. It was real. Too real. When they checked our window the next day in daylight, there were cracks, tiny spiderweb fractures where he'd slammed it with something. Not fists, something heavier, something meant to break in. Luke was arrested. He was charged with harassment, attempted breaking and entering, and a few more things the officers didn't fully explain. All I knew was he was dangerous, and I never saw it coming. It started like any dumb day in calculus class. My friend Joe and I were half paying attention, half messing around in the back corner. Out of nowhere, I got a follow request on Instagram. Some blonde girl, Tracy. Her profile picture showed this model-type look. Long straight hair, bright eyes, perfect lighting. She had that fake polished Instagram glow, but yeah, she was hot. Without thinking, I accepted. I even showed Joe, who raised his eyebrows and gave me this stupid grin. Like, okay. I followed her back and tossed my phone aside to half focus on the lecture, feeling like maybe I just scored some quiet W. Didn't think much of it, until I got home. That's when Tracy DM'd me. I won't bore you with the whole chat. It started simple. She said I was cute, asked a few basic questions, but it got weird fast. When I asked why she didn't accept my follow back, she said, "My boyfriend checks who I follow. I can't let him see." Something about that made my stomach twist, not in a bad way, more like that "this is wrong but hot" kind of feeling. She kept talking, said they were always fighting, that she just wanted to hang with someone else for a night. "Just detox a little," she wrote. I should have known that was already a red flag, but instead, I screenshotted it and sent it to Joe like an idiot. "Bro, look at this." He immediately replied, "Dude, 100% meetup, you're in." That's all I needed, validation from the best wingman in history. We made plans to meet at Bayside Beach, our usual late-night spot. It was private, chill, and if anything actually happened, there'd be no one around. I pulled into the parking lot around 10:50 p.m. The place was pitch black, aside from the orange street lamp buzzing at the far corner. Not a soul in sight. I messaged her, "Here." 5 minutes later, she replied, "Great. I left something in the sand for you." I just blinked at the message. "What?" I typed. "Go look." We were still talking on Instagram, not even texting. That felt off, but whatever. I was already there. I stepped out into the night air, humid, salty, thick, and walked toward the shoreline. The beach was totally still. No wind, no waves, just silence and dark shapes of boats out in the bay. Then I saw it, a little cardboard box near the water's edge. I bent down, opened it, and froze. Inside was a Polaroid photo. It was a picture of my car, just now, from across the lot. Same angle, same light. You could see me stepping out, phone in hand. My brain stalled. For a second, I just stared at it, waiting for the logic to hit. Then I snapped out of it and messaged her. "Lowell, where are you?" She replied instantly, "Come find me." The picture had been taken from somewhere along the tree line, bushes that wrapped around the entire parking lot like a natural wall. I looked back at the lot and the bushes. Based on the angle of the shot, I figured out roughly where the person had to be when they took it. So like an idiot, I walked toward that section of the brush. When I got close, I stopped. The only sound I could hear was the blood in my ears. I turned on my phone light, scanned the bush line, and that's when I heard it. A choking, gurgling noise, like someone trying to clear their throat with no air, wet, raw, but completely inhuman. It came from the darkness just ahead. I called out, "Tracy?" Then the leaves parted. There, crouched in the dirt, was a man. Bent over, arms limp at his sides. At first I thought he was sick or hurt, but then his head snapped toward me with this violent jolt, like his neck had been pulled by a wire. I stumbled back and fell hard on the concrete. The light caught just enough of his face to see that it wasn't right. The skin looked pale and wrong. His eyes were too wide. His mouth was open like it was still making that gurgling noise, even though no sound was coming anymore. I didn't wait. I sprinted to my car and slammed the door shut. Started the engine with shaking hands and peeled out of the lot without looking back. I don't even remember how I got home, just that I couldn't stop checking the rearview mirror the whole way. Later, I told Joe and a few others. They didn't really believe me, not fully. They still hung out at Bayside like normal, but me? I never went back, not after that night, not after Tracy. I'm 17 and my name's Jackie. Like a lot of girls, I used to spend too much time scrolling through Instagram, wishing I looked like the models who racked up hundreds of likes. I'll be honest, I liked the attention. I liked seeing the comments, the hearts, the little confidence boost. So last summer, with the beach weather in full swing, I started posting a lot of swimsuit pics. They always did well. The likes piled up. I didn't really think twice about who was following me. I kept my profile public. Let anyone look, whatever. I liked watching the follower count climb. Then one day, I got a follow request that stopped me for a second. No profile picture. No posts, no name. 0 followers. The only person it followed was me. I hovered over the accept button for a second, then shrugged. Who cared? Probably just some weirdo, or maybe even one of my crazy exes stalking me through a burner account. Fine, let them look. A week passed. I forgot all about it until I got a comment on one of my old beach pictures. Just one word. Hot. From that account. At first, it didn't faze me. Half my comments come from people I don't know in real life. But then the next night, the account went on a liking spree. Photo after photo back months, even years. It was like someone tearing through my digital diary, studying me. Then the call came. It was late, like almost midnight. My phone rang, an unknown number. Stupidly, I answered. The voice on the other end was deep, not just man deep, like wrong, inhumanly deep. Hey. Just that one word, low and drawn out, like he was savoring it. I froze. Who is this? Pause then. This is Jackie, right? My stomach dropped. I hung up and sat there, frozen, staring at the screen. My whole room suddenly felt like it wasn't mine anymore. I closed my curtains in a panic, heart racing. I didn't know what was going on, but I knew this wasn't a joke. I barely slept that night. The next morning, I woke up to a tagged photo from the same account. I tapped it. It was a picture of a street. My street. I blocked the account on the spot, shut off Instagram, deleted the app. I didn't care about likes anymore. I just wanted to be invisible. A few days passed. I tried to breathe, tried to go back to normal. My best friend Jess convinced me to go to the beach again, to just relax. So we packed up, parked, and popped the trunk to grab our beach chairs. Then, he came up to me, a man, jeans, sunglasses, sunburnt skin. He smiled like we'd known each other. "Nice swimsuit," he said, casual. Too casual. I mumbled thanks, trying to keep it cool. I didn't want to talk. I didn't even want to look at him. Then he said something, just a simple, "How's your day going?" And my blood turned ice cold. It was his voice. The phone call. The one that had followed me through my nightmares for a week. It was him. Standing in front of me, in daylight, smiling like we were friends. He found me. He followed me. I whispered to Jess, "Get in the car." We dropped everything, got inside, locked the doors, and pulled out of there so fast the tires squealed. I checked every mirror the entire way home. He wasn't behind us, but that didn't make me feel any safer. On the drive, I told Jess everything. The call, the photo, the account, the voice. Her face went pale. When we got home, I had my dad. Checked the car, top to bottom, under the seats, behind the bumpers, for bugs, for trackers. I needed to know he hadn't marked me somehow. He didn't find anything, but that didn't help, because now I knew what this guy sounded like. What he looked like. He knew who I was, what I drove, where I parked, and then I heard from him again. Just a few nights ago, I reinstalled Instagram. Dumb move, I know. I thought it had been long enough. I had changed my settings, kept my profile private. I thought I was in the clear. Then the DM came, from another random account. No posts, no followers. Just this message. "Remember that time we met at the beach?" My hands went cold. I didn't respond. I blocked it instantly, but it was too late. I haven't slept properly since. I keep waking up in the middle of the night, checking my window, convinced I'll hear that same voice again, somewhere close. I haven't told my parents yet. I don't want them to panic, but I know I'll have to. Because this isn't just some digital creep. This is someone real, and he's not done.